Catherine, how you doing? Thanks so much for kicking things off here. Okay, this is a fun exercise, isn't it? So I want to address a couple of things in your writing here. As you can see, I've got this highlighted right here. One of the reasons why is because there's a little bit of confusion here I would like to clarify. So you say, blending modes are super useful getting effects I want, especially the soft light mode. Messing around with color, hue, and saturation blending modes. Now, there is a color blending mode, right? And let me show you. Okay, I'm going to use this image right here. I've duplicated the background. Here's the blending mode right here. Okay, so there is a color blending mode right there, as you can see. But in your writing, you mentioned a hue and saturation blending mode. Hue and saturation is an adjustment layer. It's not a blending mode. So I think at this point, I think it would really benefit you to really understand the differences between blending modes and adjustment layers. It's really important because it's one of the cornerstones in Photoshop. So I think it would really benefit you to get to know those differences intimately, so to speak. Okay, so enjoy that piano. I think the fact that you wanted to express the style of music based on the style of the album artwork, that's smart. That's very smart, and that's how it's done exactly. So I was really pleased to read that. Okay, let's go ahead. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and jump right to the examples. I've got the examples up right here, and I think the examples are done very well. Let me just bring these down a little bit so we can fit them in the window. Okay, really super safe, okay, but nonetheless very effective. This is really interesting. I want to talk about this one further in 1 second. And then this one, is the piano supposed to be inverted? I mean, I get it if it is, but if it's not, let me know, because that's definitely inverted. So let me know there. I think otherwise it's really interesting. Now, as far as what we have going on here, what I would like you to do is this, is I would like you to really, this is an exercise in blending modes and in typography. So if you take a look at the course announcement specifically, let me jump over here. And I have included a bunch of type tutorials. Let me see, where is it? Oh, right here. Yeah, it's in this Welcome to Week 3 announcement. So here's like just over 200 type tutorials. And what I would like you to do, so if you have type tutorials, and then we also have your blending mode. So this really points to the ability to really be able to experiment here. Now, this being a exercise and not a project really allows you to push the experimentation here. There's no right or wrong here. I mean, this is not like this is destined to be a portfolio piece, unless of course you want it to. But being that it's a short-term exercise and not a project, I think that it really points to experimentation here. So what I'd like to see you do is this, is try, just really go off here, really be as creative as you can. Let's get these, work with your blending modes. Try things like duplicating layers and stacking layers and applying different blending modes to each layer to see what kind of effects you get. Also try to, go ahead and try to express, use really super expressive typography as well. And here, I think this is a really great example. Now, I said I'd talk about this in a second. The issue I'm seeing here is this, is that right now you've got the title and the name are both in these boxes, right? Now, I don't recommend placing them in boxes. I think that it kind of separates from the background. So I think that if we just place the typography right over the background image and even use well, I'm going to talk about color in a second, but you even use color or something from the image itself to assist you in compiling the typography. When I say color, what I mean is this. Again, what I would like you to do is take this background image, okay, duplicate it in your layers panel and add different blending modes. Maybe offset one a little bit. Maybe one has a color of red, the other has a color of blue, and they're offset a little bit. Different blending modes. Really experiment here. Take this as far as you can. And I think it's really important as in an exercise, specifically dealing with blending modes, to push your creativity as far as you possibly can here. Anyway, so typography here, you've got Ben Platt, but this is unusual because this is, it looks like it wants to be left aligned, but it's off a little bit. If I grab a straight edge, and hang on 1 second, let me do this. I just want to grab a straight edge here so you can see that these are not in alignment. See, so I've got that aligned with the left side of that box, but this box is out of alignment. So, I'm not real sure how you want these to align, but again, I think they would be much more effective if they were actually incorporated right on top of the image as opposed to placed in this box and try to have some kind of interaction between the background image and the typography. And then this one, I think this one is really super interesting too. But again, try blending modes. Now, if you add a blending mode to a single layer, you're not going to see much happen. Blending modes work with the layers below them. So a great technique is to duplicate the layer and then apply. I'm going to duplicate the layer 5 different times. So you duplicate the piano layer 5 different times. Try 5 different blending modes. Offset one, maybe just try different experimentation. So that's what I would like to see. And then also try to work with some type effects, some specialized type effects, utilizing some of those type tutorials that we had that were included in the announcements area. Okay, so like I said, there's no right or wrong here. There's really not. This all points to experimentation and learning blending modes. So really go off on here. Get as creative as you can. Okay, great job. Again, thank you so much for kicking things off. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. All right, thanks, Kathryn.